Live from the BBC at an undisclosed location, it's Night Calls with Spaghetti and Meatball, bringing you the most unhinged sex, dating, and relationship advice you definitely don't want. And now, here are your hosts, Spaghetti and Meatball.
Hey, how are you? Welcome to Night Calls with Spaghetti and Meatball. That is my co-host, Spaghetti. I am Meatball. We are actually not live from the BBC, from the Big Black Couch. We are actually taping this one. That one's on me because we were in Milwaukee over the weekend, and I went a little too hard over the days, and I was in no shape to record our originally scheduled program of Sunday night live 8 p.m. So we're taping it. You're going to be out of town, right? So
that's right. I'm going to be in Iowa this weekend.
Lovely Iowa.
I'll be at a lake house. It'll be nice, actually.
Okay. That's cool then. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be
good. You don't really picture many lakes in Iowa.
It's called Clear Lake. It's in it's northern Iowa, close to Minnesota up there.
Okay. Oh, I guess that works.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the taped show just to fill in because our schedules are crazy for June. You're gonna be out of town, then you got them, then it's Father's Day, and then we didn't want to wait 2 months to drop between shows. So we're doing a one-off taping, and hopefully it's still gonna be as good. There's no live comments or anything like that, but we're gonna try to make everyone laugh, and we appreciate everyone who's watching and liking, subscribing, and sharing, and all that good stuff. So I hope you are ready to rock with the show today, right? Because we got a lot to talk about. So
we got a lot of good topics planned. So this will be a good
one. So with that, let's start with the foreplay. All right, I have this. I found this article that and I tell people I don't like the kink shame. You're into what you're into, but this was a first for me. We've talked about people like people who have OnlyFans accounts. That's awesome. Get that bag. But I came across this. This woman from England, she makes $5,000 a month pretending to have broken bones. I mean, pretty attractive there. I could see she probably she probably could make that without the broken bones. And there goes my dog barking in the background as we're recording. She always likes to make a noise when we're recording. So her name is Chloe. She's from England. During lockdown in 2020, she made a decision to join OnlyFans and soon received a bizarre request to perform content with her leg in a cast. So she decided that she's been in a cast before. Why not? She thinks it's bizarre, but she says it's, quote, the whole damsel in distress fetish. Do you buy the whole damsel in distress? Does she look like a damsel in distress?
She doesn't look distressed to me. I have a personal experience with someone who had their leg in a brace. I could say it didn't add to the experience for me. But to each their, like you said, to each their own. Get that bag. Like, good for her. Like, she's the hero of this story for sure.
Yeah. She goes on to say she spends hours making plaster casts. So it's not even a fake cast. She makes like real plaster casts in order to fulfill subscribers' requests, something she doesn't mind because it's such good money. She's even got crutches to go along with the look. It's really taken off. She's actually been, besides the broken legs, this is a weird one, she's also been asked to fake a broken neck. Might be a little extreme. And she also had a request to have all of her limbs in a cast and wear a fake pregnancy belly. So also while she sat in a wheelchair. So that was all basically like one request. Nothing phases me in this industry, she says. But with this cast content, she pulls around $5,000 a month, and that's just for her getting her cast stuff because it's a niche like content window. But with her other OnlyFans earnings. You want to know how much she makes a month?
I'm guessing it's a lot more than I do.
She makes 40 grand a month from her OnlyFans.
Damn.
Yeah. So she says she's not going to get a real, like I guess I don't want to term real job, but that's what she's never going to go back to the corporate world. She sees herself continuing with the adult content for several years to come. Some of the stuff she also said is that she's been chained down to a chair and tickled. So, hey, if you got a tickle fetish, she's good. She could do that. But they asked her if she can see herself doing this forever, and what about when she gets older? And she says people seem to be in the whole MILF thing. So in a way, it's easier to make money the older you get now. So MILFs, GILFs. So congratulations, Chloe, on being probably the one of one for doing Broken Bone OnlyFans.
That just makes me curious about like what other types of OnlyFan content there is out there.
Right? Like that's something I would never in a million years like think that actually exists, that someone's doing that. Like, you can go into like the dark, I don't want to say like, I want to say the dark web, but like you can go deep into Pornhub and like find some like pretty off the wall shit. Even if you Google search, you could probably find some pretty off the wall shit too. But like that was never one I would thought that would be like a fetish for people, for having broken bones. So I know people are into like the bondage and the dominating and all that, but yeah, getting turned on by someone in a cast like that, okay, hey, whatever floats your boat. But you're right, nothing surprises me anymore.
Yeah, if you can think of it, it's on the internet, and if there's people willing to do someone's request, then everyone there's consenting. Good for them. No one.
What is it? Rule 34: if it exists, there's porn for it.
That's right. I think that's in the Declaration of Independence, actually.
Yeah, that's probably right. 4 and 7 whores ago, our forefathers. Wait, no, it would be 4 whores and 7 years ago. Oh. I don't know. I'm spitballing here. All right, never mind. Okay, so that's the only like article I've had I found today. I did actually have one that I was going to send you as well, but then when I went to go pull it back up, the article got updated to say it wasn't true, but there was supposedly, because the Olympics are coming up in next month, that a whole bunch of like anti-sex beds got delivered to Paris, and they're made out of like a cardboard, like a thick cardboard, but they're supposed to like prevent people from having sex. And because that's what they did in Tokyo, like the Tokyo Olympics in 2021, they didn't want people hooking up, because apparently there's a lot of fucking going on during the Olympics with all the athletes across the world and everything. Like there's been stories of like orgies and threesomes and just debauchery all around. So they didn't want people to hook up in Tokyo, but Paris got these same beds, and everyone thought they were the anti-sex beds. And then the company came out and said, no, they're not. You can have sex on them.
The company's like, we tried it. Don't worry.
Yeah, like, because I was gonna send you this, and I was gonna say this article, and it was like, okay, so they made anti-sex beds. Like, do they not realize that you can just like go up against the wall or bend over it or go, and you don't need to have sex on a bed? Like,
when there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly. So I thought this was the stupidest thing, that they were trying to send these anti-sex beds, and then a couple weeks later, the company comes out and says, no, you can have sex in them. They're meant to hold the weight. They're pretty strong material. Even though it is technically like a cardboard, it is stronger. So I was like, okay, well, there goes that topic for the show. Because
also, that's just wild that they're making Olympic athletes sleep on like cardboard. Like, you think they want like a nice, comfortable bed when they're supposed to be at their peak athletic performance.
Like, way to cheap out on the bedding, man. Like, I realize you have like thousands and thousands of athletes coming across the world, and some of them, like during the Olympics, like they arrive for like the opening ceremonies, whatever, and then they have to wait till like almost the end of the Olympics for their event and shit. So imagine like having to sleep like 2 weeks on a shit bed.
Yeah,
Like
hell no.
spring the money and let that, and that's why they want to have sex. Like that's why they want to do all the fornicating that they can in those 2 weeks. Like shit. Like
Yeah,
I'm going
it's
about
international orgy. Who says no?
that there's apparently there's some wild tales from Olympics, like
I bet.
from the villages and everything. I gotta try to find, so that would be a good one maybe for next show, is like find like crazy Olympic stories and share some of those. But
That's a good one.
yeah, all right. But let's get some questions now. Like that's what the people came here for. They want our advice, right? So let's give them some advice. Remember, these are all anonymous, so we don't know who sent them. First one we got here. This is a White Sox Twitter one. If someone random gets seats in the 108 section that knows nothing about the culture, do you welcome them with open arms, give them an education, sign them up for the 108 tourney next year? You want to start that one?
Yeah, I mean, 108 section is very welcoming. I mean, no one's gonna, if no one knows you, and especially because Twitter, like, people don't show their faces, so they're probably not gonna recognize you, and they aren't gonna go up to you. But if you go up to someone you recognize and be like, "Hey, I recognize you from Twitter," they'll be like, "Dope, nice to meet you. Have a beer or 5."
Yeah, I think the only thing that people need to realize about 108 is that, one, you can pretty much say or do whatever you want over there. It's pretty much, you know, like free reign, you know, but and then it's also free seating. Like you don't have to actually sit in your seats.
Yeah, that's also true. That's a big one. It's like musical chairs, really.
Pretty much. And then you just have to be ready to get your picture taken.
That's also true.
So if you don't want to be in what they call the class picture, and you don't want your picture taken by our friend the Beef Loaf, then you make sure you just get up and go grab a beer or something during the 6th inning. So, but yeah, it's a very welcoming section. Like there's all types of people that join over there, and even some Cubs fans sit over there, because our good friend Prazmaster, he's a Cubs fan, and he sits in 108 all the time too. So, yeah, you don't have to sign up for the 108 tourney next year. I don't think people are ready for that right away after sitting in one section. But I definitely think you need to give them like just give them the bullet points if they're going to sit in the 108.
That's right.
All right. Next question here. How do you feel about your ex being with someone new?
I don't have feelings about it. Like, you're my ex. Why do I care? You do. Like, you shouldn't care about me. Like, I don't care about you. We're good.
Yeah, I think for me about it depends on 2 factors. Like one, like how did the relationship go? How did it end? Like, was it a messy, or was it mutual, or did I want to like break up with her? My only thing is like my ex with someone new is as long as she downgrades, then I'm happy. Like I don't, if she breaks up and then she's meeting like some like super handsome guy with lots of money and not a dad bod, then I'm kind of like, oh fuck, she moved on and got better. So you always kind of always hope that they go a little like downgrade from you. Like that's my take on things.
That's fair. Out of sight, out of mind for me.
That is true. There's been a lot of relationships where it just ended, and I was just kind of like, all right, like just stop, like trying to stop calling me and texting me still. Like go move on, go meet somebody else. Like sometimes you want that. Like you don't even, at some point, like you just get so annoyed with because sometimes breakups, you know, are one-sided, right? So sometimes one person will try to keep on being in that person's life, or like texting and how can we talk? And sometimes you just wish they would go meet someone instead of like so clinging on to you. Like I always would say the best way to get over someone is to get under someone, you know? So it's like, hey, we broke up. Go fuck a few people. Like then maybe you won't want to call me anymore.
Yeah, that reminds me of this reply guy that was in my mentions the other day. he said something about how his ex had a threesome like right after they broke up, and I was like, good for her. And he was like, well, you don't think she like shouldn't have done that? I was like, no, I don't. That's correct. I don't think that. Like, she can do whatever she wants. Good for her. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. And like, that was just like to my point. Like, now she might not be inclined to like call you back or text or want to get back with you. She's going to be like, you know what? Maybe there's some better dicks out there.
right.
So she's going to, I'm not going to say my shit's the fucking best. So if you find better, good for you, So, yeah. So good riddance to some exes.
Yep.
All right, here's a more serious topic here. Your thoughts on people who don't have any friends. I think I'll start with this one here. I mean, there's some people like that I know who aren't very social. They're not outgoing, and some people do have a hard time making friends. And like we live in a very introverted society now. I think like
Especially after the pandemic.
yes, like especially with lockdown, it it messed a lot of people up, like being alone and isolated and stuff. And even like the younger generation, you know, they're growing up like on their phones, on tablets, on the internet. They don't have like the same communicating and like interacting that we did growing up when we're all forced to go out to the playground. And at least for me, I know you're a little younger than me, but I grew up without before the internet was even a thing. So I was always outside talking with people. I will say, if you don't have friends and if you're having trouble making friends, one of the things I remember before I quit my Bumble and my Tinder dating app days is, I believe it was Bumble, maybe Tinder too, but I think Bumble had like the friend feature. So it was like, if you want to, if you're not looking for like a relationship, you can like search for just friends. And if you're having trouble like if you're not a person who likes to go out to bars or to events or whatever to mingle, and you have a tough time, maybe that's the way to go. Maybe it's you swipe a few people on the friendship side of the apps, and maybe talking through someone with not face to face and more, you'll be more comfortable, that maybe that helps. And then you can decide, hey, we can text or we can go out for a coffee or a drink or something. Like I would never like like shame someone or like make fun of someone because they don't have friends. Like it's hard. Different people interact differently, and it's hard for people sometimes to just be around others.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think like the flip side of everything, the internet kind of like changing how kids socialize and stuff is like you can also find groups of people similar to you that you wouldn't have been able to find before. Like if you have a really like specific interest, like you will find those people on the internet. And maybe they're someone you never meet in real life because of geographical distance or something, but that doesn't mean they aren't your friend.
Hmm.
So, but you also have to put yourself out there. So, if someone has literally zero friends, that's telling me either like there's something extremely fucked up about them, or they're not putting in any effort to like put themselves out there. And that's uncomfortable for sure, like putting yourself out there, but kind of have to do it sometimes. The name of the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you're right. Because some people could just be like just social, like just assholes, and like as much as they want to have friends, but if you're just wired different and you keep on coming off as like a jerk or whatever, or try to like take advantage of people, then yeah, you're not going to have any friends. But if it's just something where like you don't like talking and interacting with people, there's ways to get around that. So yeah, I would say to your point before, like if it's someone who doesn't put themselves out there and doesn't try to make an effort to do that, just wants to be alone, then that's it. Like that's their prerogative, but that's something that I'm gonna try to reach out to and like be friend or whatever. It takes two to tango, right? So
Mhm.
all right. Next question. I'm gonna let you take this one first. Because tried full wax for first time, not pleased. Better landing strip or trimmed Amazon forest?
Uh, I personally like don't have like a preference when it comes to my men or women. Like you do what makes you comfortable. Um, I I don't if I don't know exactly like is this person asking what we think is better? What people generally think's better. I don't know about that, but I just say like you do what makes you feel comfortable because like if you're feeling comfortable with your genitals, then comfortability begets confidence and confidence is sexy. So
Yeah, I think I'm the you can keep it out like me. I do a little manscaping, right? I don't I gotta keep that shit trimmed. It's for especially for men, it gets gross. And it is true. It does look bigger when you have it nice and trimmed down and everything like that. It's like night and day. You're like, holy shit. I just gained a whole extra inch right there, man. Like, fuck. Um, so it for men, that is true. It is an optical illusion without if you don't shave. Like I don't for me when it comes to women down there, like the only thing I don't like is full bush. Like 1970s like blah jungle. Like that's not me. I like wax. I don't mind landing strip, trimmed Amazon. That's even fine too. But like I remember like one time like when I was in my early 20s, I I got reconnected with this girl I knew from high school, and we went out a few times and we had drinks, and we went back to my place and we started to hook up, and then like took her pants off and it was whew, like it. And for me, I was just kind of like, nope, I'm done. Like I couldn't do it. I
did you
couldn't do it.
just get up and walk away?
No, I didn't get up and walk away, but like I was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing I'm not doing any of the other stuff. Like it for me, yeah, it was a big for me, it was kind of like a big turnoff. I don't like the whole old school 60s, 70s push
Sure.
thing. That's just my personal thing. Like if you want that, that's fine with you. That's fine. Like you do you. I'm not telling you how to live your life, but yeah, not my thing. It was instant. It took me from full chub to half chub pretty quickly.
Yeah. I mean, there's a thing for everyone. Like that doesn't bother me. What bothers me though is this applies for like facial hair as well as like down there. Like if you're in the middle of like stubbly, like there is nothing worse to me than kissing like a stubbly beard. Like yes, a stubbly beard looks great, but like then your mouth is just like full red and it's
Yeah.
uncomfortable and I don't like that.
Yeah, my wife hates like when my beard gets like really prickly and like
Yeah.
thick. Like so as soon as I finish shaving and I go clean, she immediately says, "All right, come on, give me kisses," because like she misses the smoothness of my face. Yeah, I guess like there have been times like people have I would when I did have the stubble, and girls were like, "Yeah, no, I'm not making out with you.
Yeah.
Like your face hurts me." And it's like, like, wait, take that back. My face hurts you? I was like, well, no, not like
It
how you look.
physically hurts me.
Yeah, not emotionally hurts me. Like your because like you hold on a second, you gotta phrase that, man. Like my face hurts you? Like, oh shit. Like, well, thank God you want what's below me, because apparently my my face isn't doing anything for you. But no, yeah, I get that too. The stubble for some women is not good. So, all right, next question here. I'm gonna pull up a big one here. It's gonna cover our faces. Um, Right now, avoiding getting back into the dating scene, I now have an ED issue that gradually developed over a long-term relationship. Terrified of having to bring it up. When is the right time? How to bring it up? Especially in the beginning, that first time can be spontaneous, and I don't have that luxury to be spontaneous. Okay. Um, I can see how like being in a long-term relationship can give you a problem, especially if you don't have a active sex life in that relationship. To actually have it go to a like a condition. I mean, I hope he's consulting his doctor about that because like I'm a few credits shy of my medical degree, but um, I think that's something you know you might need to discuss with a professional. But when I think, and I this person did not say their age, so I don't know if they're like my age, a little older, your age. But that. I guess I would throw it to you, so like if you were dating someone new, and he said, I need boner pills. Would how would you approach that? Would you be like, oh fuck, or would you be like, okay, we'll get through it together?
I mean, I'd like to think I'm, well, first of all, like if I'm with a dude, something's gone terribly wrong in my life. Um, but I mean, I'd like to think that if if that happened, I would be like, okay, thank you for telling me. Like, I don't know, do you need a minute? I don't know how long that takes. um, it's I would think it would be kind of shitty for someone to be like, oh, well, that's the reason why I don't want to see you again or do something with you. Though on the flip side, if like it was a really shitty date, that would be a great excuse to get out of it.
Yeah, I like the way you think on that. Like yeah, no, sorry, I need someone who can you can even just be a complete asshole about that if you know you're never going to see this person again and be like, yeah, no, sorry, I need someone who can be ready 24/7. I've never taken like Viagra or Blue Chew or whatever the other ones are. So I don't know exactly how long they take to kick in. I don't. I think maybe they take like 30 or 40 minutes, but I could be wrong. Um, so if someone watches the show and wants to at us, you can tell us
Is
like
there a
how long it.
doctor on board?
Yeah. um, but yeah, like if you're trying to be spontaneous, that if that might not work in a beginning relationship, you might need to have a very long talk, and hopefully your this person you're seeing is very understanding and caring. Or what you do is you just if you know like you guys are gonna hook up that first time, you take one so you're ready to go, and then you have the conversation if she like because you might hook up and she might be looking for the one night stand, right? So she might not call you again. You might hook up and she might think you're shitty in bed, and she might not call you again. So I feel it's better to take like show her what you got first. Take the dick pill, show her what you got, and then if she wants to pursue it further for more dates, then you say, all right, listen, I was on performance enhancing drugs the other day. And I was on the PEDs, I have this issue, and if you're cool with it, we can talk about it and figure it out. That's my take though. Like always try to get it in. ABC, always be closing, right? So don't risk oh sorry, I didn't mean to put that back up. Don't risk not hooking up, not having fun over something like that. Always worry about that later. Like it's like when you get when you get an email like at 4 o'clock on a Friday, you're like, that's a Monday problem right there. Like that the spontaneous first date, like that's a second, third date problem. Like take the pill, have fun, see what happens. So
Yeah, I don't hate that strategy.
yeah.
Bold strategy.
That's what we're here for. We're here to give you bad advice that you don't want, but probably should want. All right. Next question here. We got 3 more left. How do you feel about second chances, from ghosting to cheating, the whole spectrum? You want to start with that one?
Um, this is so like depends on the circumstance thing. Like I could talk about so many different like someone might have a legit reason for ghosting you. Like something terrible could have happened to them, you know. Like yeah, I think, you know, in certain circumstances, like you should give someone a second chance if you're feeling it. Um I like in terms of cheating, like that's a one and done for me personally. Um, I yeah, like you get to me, like I just don't think I would be able. Well, I know that because I've been cheated on, so I know that like I can't bring like get that trust back. There are people though that like work out, like they, you know, there's a cheating incident and they figure it out, and like good for them. But I
Yeah.
personally, it's not something I can do.
Yeah, I think you're 100% correct that it all matters in the situation. Like for me with second chances, like okay, so like if you ghosted me and then you're randomly texting me or something like a month or two later, then I immediately know that like, and I shouldn't say I immediately know, but I have a good intuition that there was someone else in the picture, right? And then that didn't work out, and now you're coming back to me, and it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess it depends how long it goes, but I don't think I would take too kindly to being second choice, I guess,
Yeah.
and like second chances, like if you're breaking up with me to or ghosting me, um to, I guess you could say breaking up to, if you're breaking up or ghosting to go back like with an ex, right? That's I draw the line on that. Like I used to always tell people, because I've had this happen to me like many times, where like I would be dating a girl for like a month or two, and things are going great, and then all of a sudden they're getting back with their ex. And maybe that's a bullshit excuse, right? I don't know, but like for me, I would like, exes are exes for a reason. Like why would you want to go back to something that already didn't work out and fail? Like like work on something that's potentially could be better. But some people don't always see it that way. They always want to have that what if, for the what could have been, right,
Mhm.
scenario. So um I think I wouldn't give a second chance if someone like started with me, kind of led me on to go back with an ex, and then the second or third time, like, and it didn't work out, and then they're saying like, oh hey, like can we try again? Like no, like that's, for me, that's like, that's your chance, like boom, goodbye. Like I'll for me, it would, like, there was times where I'd be talking to a girl, and we'd be seeing each other, and not even like in a serious sense or whatever, but she'd say like, okay, I don't want to, I'm gonna go, I would start talking to this other person, or I'm gonna give my ex a chance, and like I'd be like, okay, fine, bye, and I'd immediately be back on like Bumble, Tinder. I'd be immediately just like, what's next, like the MTV show next, you know.
Yeah.
uh I don't fuck around with the like, I'm second choice, or I'm second fiddle, or I'm your side bitch. Like,
Yeah. And a lot of times, like if it didn't work out the first time for some reason, like why do you think it's gonna work again the second time? I'll say like every time I've given someone a second chance, it has not worked out.
no.
So I say cut your losses.
Yeah. And that's why I said exes are exes for a reason. Like, unless there was some kind of like life experience, like life altering circumstance or something that happened, like say like you lost a family member, right? Or something like that happened, and like you couldn't emotionally be like invested into a relationship. Like you had maybe you lost your job or something, like something like that. I could see then you could maybe working out with a second chance and being like, you know what, I wasn't in a good frame right now, like I wasn't able to commit to you. Like let's try this again. But those are usually few and far between. Usually it's because you're fighting, there was cheating, you know, you're just two different personalities. So there's really no sense to try it a second or third time at that point, because people aren't gonna change. And even if they say they're gonna change, they'll change temporarily. They'll change for a month, 2 months, and then you're eventually going to revert back to your comfort, your norms, your quirks, and it's not going to work out.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Awesome.
yeah, move on from that. All right. Next one. This one's kind of funny here. Who is someone that would turn HBIC, aka Meatball, turn me gay and or spaghetti straight? Athlete or celeb? Do you have one in mind?
Oh yeah.
All right. Who
Am
you
I
got?
going first?
Yeah, go for it.
So it feels kind of like cheating because this is a very feminine looking man. But definitely would be straight for Bo Bichette.
All right. I've seen the people on the interwebs, the women talking about him. So yeah, I could see that. Hey, and he's an athlete too, so right? So for
And
me, I'm gonna say and what?
I said, and his mom is hot, which is not relevant, but just
Be like, I'm straight for you, but I'm gay for your mom.
that's right.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick one, and mine's gonna be picked more out of a flex and out of just like out of flex and to show off. I'm gonna pick former White Sox player Romy Gonzalez.
Okay.
Just so all of the White Sox Twitter girls who fawned over him the whole time, that I could be like, ha, I pulled Romy and none of you could. Like, you slid in those DMs, you didn't get nothing. Now I got. So I guess I would that would be mine. I would take Romy Gonzalez just out of a big, just to be a big flex and puff my chest out. God.
Well, better get to Boston then.
Ah, fuck, that's right. I don't want to go to Boston.
Yeah.
No, that sucks.
That's a good one, I guess. I don't know. I was never like, he's mid to me.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's like, because like it's too easy to be like, oh, like Ryan Reynolds or Ben Affleck or all those. It's like it's too easy to pick like those. I don't really have like a hall pass list of athletes, male athletes or celebs I would want to hook up with. So I have to go with just a flex play right there. So
I get it. I see you.
All right. Last one, kind of a sweet one. Who would you like to be with right now? The wives.
The wives.
Yeah. Who else would I want to be with? I want to be with my wife Sarah and my pupper Max, even though she's barking in the background. And you want to be with your future wife. So
that's right. Wednesdays are for the wives. Thursdays are for the wives.
Every day's for the wives.
That's right.
And as I said, congratulations on your nuptials and everything.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So that wraps up all the questions. Thank everyone who submitted and commented. We like doing it. That's the reason that's the purpose for the show, is to help educate the peoples when they're in trouble and they need advice from us. So
always happy to give advice on erectile dysfunction.
Yes. I figured when we got that question, I was like, that's gonna be right in Celeste's wheelhouse. Like, and it should be, because like you have said on multiple times on Twitter how big your dick is.
Right, but it functions.
I always find that funny when like women on Twitter, they'll go be like, suck my dick or my fucking dick's huge or anything like that. I always find that funny. Like that's
I'm gonna start instead of being like, yeah, I got a massive hog, and be like, yo, I got erectile dysfunction. Just fuck with the haters.
Oh yeah, then maybe you'll get like Blue Chew sliding in your DMs or something.
Yeah, you get a Viagra
Right.
sponsorship.
That'd be funny if Viagra or like Blue Chew like sponsored this podcast. Like that would be fucking hysterical. All right, time to close out the show with the climax. Oh yeah. All right. That's not my my money shot voice either. So don't ask me to recreate that on air.
I definitely won't.
Yeah, no, because I don't think I could. I don't think I could fake it. Can guys fake orgasms? I don't know.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't think I've ever faked an orgasm before, so I don't know. Is that even possible for guys?
It would be much harder for you to.
Yeah. All right. So we found something that is pretty funny, and we decided we're gonna do this as an ongoing segment. It's reading reviews for adult products, adult places. So we're gonna start with some sex toy reviews here because these are pretty hysterical. So the first one we have for you guys is Eve's Ravishing Rose Pleaser by Adam and Eve. Apparently, and I didn't even know that. Like, I don't fancy myself in the realm of women's sex toys, but apparently, I just learned this is a new thing, that this is a clit like sucker.
Yes.
It puffs air or sucks or pulls air onto the clit. I was like, that's a thing. Like, holy shit! Like, I didn't know you could. I didn't know I thought they were all just like either insert or vibrate. I didn't know they suck now. So, man, what a world we live in now. Like, you got
technology's crazy, dude.
what are they gonna think of next, man? Shit, I thought this used to be a good old fashioned dildo worked, and then they had like the little rabbits, and now they got clit suckers. So
we've come a long way. I actually last summer went to the museum.
No pun intended.
Yeah. I went to the Museum of Sex in New York last summer, and you should have seen some of the medieval shit they were using in like the 70s.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like surprised people didn't get electrocuted.
Like in what sense? Like can you give me an example?
I mean, just like wireless wasn't really a thing. You know, so you have these like giant machines with like hookups, and they're like metal. It doesn't look enjoyable.
Looks like you're getting like battery clamps like on you or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't. It's pretty good because like you probably didn't have like a lot of wireless battery operated products back then. So yeah, imagine if you were like you blew like your fuse box or something because of one of those things. Like, oh shit, honey, I gotta go reset the fuse box again. I blew a circuit from our fucking sex toy. All right, let's check out some of these reviews. It got 4.5 stars or 4.25 potentially out of 479 reviews, over 150,000 sold. I feel like people need to do a better review. That's a pretty bad ratio of 150,000 sold and only a little under 500 reviews. People, you got to review this stuff, man. Like that's how people know what to get. So first review here. From Pleased Woman, definitely recommended. My wife is over 60 and had her squirting in less than 15 minutes. She truly enjoys it. Oh man, like if your wife is over 60 and still squirting, I didn't even know that was possible for women over 60, but that's damn good to hear, man. The GILF scene is alive and well.
Hell yeah, good for your wife. Love to see it.
Yeah, I have maybe, and hopefully he didn't say in response to this, but hopefully he knew what was happening, and not anything bad was because you're over 60. Like, oh shit, like I gotta call 911 or something. Like, hopefully he knew what was going on. So
hey, people over 60 aren't fucking ancient.
I know, but I didn't know women over 60 could still squirt.
Today you learned.
I learned the NBC rainbow. The more you
The more you know.
The more you know. All right. Good job, please, woman. Next up, the rose made me move muscles I didn't even know I had. I had the most intense orgasms ever. If you ladies are single, just get this and avoid the rest of the stupidity that comes with the husband. From Sexy A6086.
Good review, honestly.
Yeah, bad for the husbands.
Yeah.
Bad for her husband. I mean, like she's ready to get like
She
put the
sounds
divorce
like
papers in.
Yeah, I'll say she sounds like she's divorce pending or divorce.
Yeah. Call you, right? You know.
Yep. Call me for your next divorce.
So not only is her husband bad in bed, but he's stupid as well. So
sounds like she's
feel
the
bad
in the world.
Yep.
Good for
Well,
Sexy.
you got the rose now, so yeah, you got your rose now. That's all you need, right? So next up. Wow, may have phased myself right out of the relationship from V. So oh man, this thing's giving men a bad name. Shit,
4 stars though.
Yeah. Hey, she didn't put why, but hey, you know, this thing's making men single since 2021 or whatever it was invented. So hope you're enjoying your single life, E. Next up here. Being a male, I cannot attest to the advantages of the rose, but I can honestly say I enjoyed the effect and arousal that I received from the rose on my nipples.
Fantastically amusing.
Ducky62. Oh man. All right, so it's not just for females. Apparently, you can just if that's your thing, guys, you can just put this on your nipples and you can get aroused from that. I don't like any nipple play as a guy, so I don't think that would do anything for me.
Maybe you just haven't had good rose nipple play.
That could be true. I didn't know that there were nipple vibrators, but apparently, again, the more you know. All right, thanks for the education, Ducky. Appreciate that. Next up, quick fix. A rose by any other name would smell as sweet, but this little rose will make you skeet. I do wish the suction was a little more intense, and after a few vigorous uses, it got louder. Okay. I put that one in there from Mama Cat because of the nice little poem made me chuckle.
Right.
This little rose.
We love Shakespeare right into it.
Yeah. Well, would that be Shakespeare or would that be Little John?
I think Shakespeare did it first, but Lil Jon definitely perfected it.
Okay. Skeet, motherfucker. A wife was not very impressed. Bought this for my wife, and she had heard it that it was absolutely amazing. She tried it out and was just very disappointed and said, "You might as well just get down there and blow air in my vagina." From King Daddy 73. So that's how old he is. So he's 50. Okay, so apparently, not everyone's impressed with this. We did have a couple. I did put a couple bad reviews in here, so not all of these are, sunshine and rainbows. But I don't think that I would just if my wife ever said that, I'm gonna be like, no, honey, I'm not blowing air into your vagina. Like, sorry.
Wait, don't knock it. I wonder if for the dissatisfied customers if they get a refund.
I'm sure they do. I can't imagine that you can return it. It's probably just like, just keep it and we'll refund you.
Yeah.
All right, next up. Oh, there's a long one. Okay. Dude, I couldn't stop coming. Okay, so I've only used it sitting down in my shower, so it's easier to keep clean. And here's what I know so far. I thought I was going to die. Once I found the tight spot, wasn't difficult. I came immediately and so hard. I think my soul left my body. I had to let up so that I could actually breathe and get rid of those little sparkly things along the edges of your vision right before you pass out. I could have squeezed coal into a diamond. My vag clenched down so hard. I think I came about 10 times before the hot water was starting to run out and I had to quit. This was all at the lowest setting, Oh, and it's quiet enough that no one will hear it over the shower, at least on the lowest setting. I haven't bothered to try anywhere elsewhere or on a higher setting, though. Haven't needed to. It's probably roommate friendly, but probably not same room friendly. The shape is also pretty comfortable and the hand easy to hold on to. I love that review. That's probably one of the best reviews you could give.
Yeah.
If your pussy's ready to push out diamonds. Like, that's awesome. I also like that it's roommate friendly, but not same room friendly. I don't think I would ever be trying to do any masturbating in the same room of someone that I wasn't in a relationship with. If I had a roommate, I'm definitely not going to be like, hey, do you mind if I just whip out my toy and drop my pants right now? Like,
yeah, definitely better to not do that, or unless your roommate's into it, talk about that ahead of time. We don't care.
yes, set boundaries, set parameters, have the conversation. You don't want to just awkwardly walk in and be like, "Oop, I thought this was okay to do this in the kitchen." Like, no, it's not.
But great review. They should put that on their website probably.
Yeah, this is the one that had the most likes at 1171, and that was from Hallie U fan 95.
Good for you.
Yeah, good for you, Hallie. Just make sure you don't pass out, because the last thing you want to do is pass out in the shower. Bad things can happen if you pass out in the shower.
That's right.
All right. Underwhelming. Not much power to it at all. If I wanted bad head, I would have called up a guy.
Hell nah, 6969.
Okay. Well, sorry. At least some guy got lucky that night.
Yeah.
And I believe that is all of the sex toy reviews we've had today. I thought this was pretty fun to read some of these. You brought up that strip clubs are pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Have some pretty funny reviews. So we're gonna have to find some good strip club reviews and do those next time as well.
Definitely.
So that's it. That's our show. So thank you for nice solid 52 minutes. So want to thank everyone for listening and for sending the comments as always, the questions. And I'm also going to thank Spaghetti, my lovely, funny co-host. So thank you guys. We'll be back next month. And thanks for joining us on Night Calls with Spaghetti and Meatball. See you next time.